Jeff, welcome to the Forza Horizon 4 loading screen.
The humble Xbox controller.
We're very excited about all the improvements we've made to this year's screen. You can see we have enhanced the type setting. It's turning on the typeface. We've added steering to the left stick.
Okay. Oh, there are cars this year.
Yes, now we have cars.
Great.
This is Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah.
I went to play this.
Well, yeah, you went last week and checked this out.
And here's some footage of it.
Okay.
That happened to be where we hit record on the kiosk I was playing at, but that was right after the title screen.
Okay.
That was just a new save.
So this is basically how the game will open.
Fresh off the go screen.
A Playground Games event.
Yes.
Not a joint. A Playground Games joint.
It's the festival that never ends.
Okay.
Pan National.
This is like a Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote situation.
Some kind of Euro trash dance
that car's going to drive into it, and then I'm going to be chasing behind it, and then I'm just going to splat against it.
Right into that giant screen.
Man.
Autumn. A new beginning for the festival that never
So yeah,
ends.
I put it in, they've got a 60 FPS mode on the Xbox One X this year.
Yeah.
I keep saying this year like they put out a Forza Horizon every year.
Yes, they put out a Forza.
They put out a Forza every year, so it is kind of this year's game.
Sure.
I will say right off the bat that the last two racing games I played were Danger Zone 2 and Burnout Paradise.
Perfect. You're well suited for the world of Forza.
Just providing that disclaimer here, because we didn't chop up this intro footage because it's too important to cut out.
Yeah.
It's our only footage of the seasons that they let us capture.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't lose any of this footage, so I'm just going to take my lumps on some of this initial driving. I got better relatively quickly, I'm going to say.
All right, yeah.
A little rough at the beginning, though.
Well, in general, I would say the driving line is there for a reason.
Yeah.
And as long as you do what it says, you can do okay.
I don't like to brake.
That's... I'm going
to put it that way.
That's a thing that I think is true of a lot of driving game players.
Yeah.
And that's why, for a lot of years, Forza Online was just, and it still can get this way in some cases, where everyone just slams into the first turn and wrecks and piles up. And then whoever makes it out of that wreck at turn 1 wins. I guess I don't play Forza with serious people. If you played with serious driving game fanatics, simulation-oriented driving fans, you have a much different experience. But generally speaking, I feel like when I get into public games at least of motorsport, this is Horizon's kind of a different.
I would say they put the rewind feature in there for a reason too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is cool. I mean, you've seen the marketing for this game.
Yes.
The thing about this thing is seasons.
Right.
And this intro stuff is pretty much the only place we got to see any of that.
Okay.
Although this is just FMV. But this intro sequence is cool because it walks you through, 90 seconds of each season.
Yeah, it's
kind of back to back.
The way the Crew 2 was like, now you're a plane. Only now it's snow.
Yeah. This is all I saw of winter, so I can't really tell you other than frozen lakes what's going to be different. I guess driving in the snow is a different handling model, right?
Right. Yeah, there would be a traction difference there for sure. That I would assume a game like Forza would model.
I really like driving through those kind of cobblestone-looking walls all over the place.
Messing stuff up.
I really like that.
Did you look at the 30 frames per second mode at all? I'm curious if you noticed any just like image quality difference.
On other people's screens. I mean, they had us on 4K monitors.
Yeah.
Running at 4K. But we wanted to capture 1080, so I said, why not check out the frame rate mode?
Cool.
Which I don't think they have shown yet. It's winter.
Yeah, that's
driving in the snow.
Yeah, visibility reduced. And such. And
slippery, slidey. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a halo.
Right.
That's icy.
Oh yeah.
This winter.
I want this game to be great. I thought 3 was fine, but 3 was a point where I was like, now having played 3 Forza Horizon games and enjoyed them all for the most part, like it was kind of diminishing returns.
I could see that.
Year over year, game over game, I guess, not year over year. To where you're like, okay, I think maybe you did the progression stuff better in 2 than in 3, or something to that effect.
Well, so they let us capture the first hour of the game and then turned off our rig.
Okay.
So we chopped this up. There's a few snippets of basically all the kind of qualifying races in that first hour in here. So
Okay.
maybe you get a sense of what the progression looks like.
Yeah, that's
Maybe you can explain why this car has giant air conditioners on the back.
that's
What is it?
air cooled.
Is that what that is?
I don't know.
What's up with that?
It looks cool.
Oh yeah, sure. So okay, I don't know if they've talked about this before, but this was definitely news to me, and it seems like the most interesting thing about this game is that so you play through this first hour in, I think, summer is what they start you off in.
Yeah.
My understanding, and again, we didn't get to play a whole lot past that. My understanding is you will do a similar amount of racing in the other 3 seasons after that,
Okay.
and that's all offline, and then they flip you over to that kind of persistent online for the entire rest of the game.
Huh. Okay.
And I think they're calling that Horizon Live is the name for it.
Yeah.
And it's because, I wish I had clarified with them if they do the Test Drive Unlimited thing of people,
That's the idea.
People in your world.
That was my takeaway from the pitch at E3
Okay.
was that, because in the previous game,
People would show up, right?
it was
ghosts?
it was ghosts.
Okay.
You would see their names and the cars they drive and that sort of stuff, but it wasn't really them.
Okay, so
It was Drivatars.
right. I should have clarified if there would be real people in this or not.
That is the whole pitch.
Okay.
Is that this time around
Well,
it will be you will
here's-
encounter live individuals.
Right, but here's the other part of the pitch, and this was the part that I really thought was interesting, was that they will control which season it is on their end.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if they talked about that or not.
No, I didn't talk to them specifically about the game.
I thought that was interesting because it almost makes it into this like MMO-ish kind of thing
Sure.
where there's a world state.
It makes it more of a live game,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
And so in the past couple of Forza games, they've had something called the Forzathon, and when the Forzathon is on, maybe that was just in Horizon 3. Anyway, they would kind of have different events like, hey, while the Forzathon is active, we're giving you some additional challenges to complete. And so it was kind of like updates to the game that weren't really huge updates, but were like things they were controlling. And that, what you're saying, sounds like kind of an enhancement and building off of that in terms of like, okay, we're going to rotate through these seasons on a set schedule.
Yeah, so they said as of right now they're looking at a new season every week.
Okay.
Like they'll every week they'll roll it over. I don't know if they'll go in order all the time or if they'll flip back and forth.
I would assume so.
I mean, you would think,
yeah,
but maybe
who
they'll
knows?
change it up. But just the idea that if you only play casually a couple times a week, like you're going to get kind of a different experience almost every time you play, sounds kind of fascinating to me.
Right, yeah. Or if you are just play on a certain cycle and you seem to play the same week every month, maybe you end up winter all the time.
Sure. But just like the idea that the kind of core qualifying and like campaign races might be different. Like you might be racing on ice depending on which time
Right.
you happen to play.
Yeah.
Or it might be wetter on here or whatever.
Or if some of these like off-road point-to-point races, if the times are a lot easier to hit if you can drive over a lake instead of around it.
Right.
Or something like
Yeah.
that, I wonder.
Yeah, like just
All that depends on how the events are built.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they would have events that are specific. I guess like my question then would be, and I don't, you probably don't know, but like, do the events get tied to seasons?
Yeah,
so
I asked
when the
about
seasons
that
change.
stuff.
Yeah.
I basically asked like, hey, does the design of your core races depend on what season it is? You know, like is it
Yeah.
going to be frozen in some seasons, and they also like I don't know if I'd call it a story exactly, but they do seem to be
It's
emphasizing
a career.
character stuff a little more.
They've always had, in the Horizon games specifically, they've always had characters talking to you. I think this is the first time they've had you been out of a car, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so they straight up have a
Yeah, this is already a lot more than 3 had.
Not
Forza
character
Motorsport
creator.
7 had a concept
that's
of
right,
you have a
sure,
driver
yes,
and you're
yes.
getting gear for them and stuff. Not that it matters, but
Hey, nice to meet
because you never saw them really outside of the car. Like
Right.
it felt like a really
So in this you do
half-cocked
like,
thing.
Yeah, there is more of that. I liked her
This
hair,
one might have a
so I
real
picked her.
chance
Okay.
of taking a spot on the roster.
Rebecca's one of our former champions.
I'm on the roster.
You're on the roster.
Racing series.
Excited? I remember my first day at Horizon. It's all pretty surreal, huh?
I'll leave you two to get set up for the first race. Good luck.
Right then, let's get you behind the wheel. Which one will it be?
Let's see what you picked.
What's it gonna be?
I'm gonna guess the Audi.
Oh my
Wow.
God, yes.
Wow.
You and I
Yeah.
get
I'm,
along.
frankly, I'm disappointed.
Really? Man,
No, I don't know.
I have no car allegiances whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know. Driving these big ass American cars in these games is always just like they weigh a lot.
Right,
They
sure.
fucking throw around corners in a real wild way that
Go on,
these
just
games
go
never
into
really
it.
seem all that suited to handle.
Yeah, I was kind of happy when I was liberated of this car and got something else.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. I like where this is going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Authentic.
Yeah. In 3, I went with Down Under,
Yeah.
which
all
also
right.
fit quite well.
Yeah.
I expect you'll want to get a feel for your new car.
Here's the map.
So I've signed you up to some events to get you started. See you there.
I don't know if I played enough 3 to say for sure. I feel like this looks maybe a little bigger than that. I just didn't quite put the time into 3
you know,
to say. It looks big to me.
It does, yeah.
For what it's worth.
I'd have to go back and look at the map for 3. I think by the time they put the expansions out and stuff for 3, that was a pretty big game too.
Did that add landmass? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. They were doing all that weird stuff, like the Hot Wheels.
The Hot Wheels stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
In 200 yards, you will arrive at your destination.
Yeah, it continues to be a nice looking
Arrived
game.
At your destination.
Hey, it's a sprint.
Okay. I think
That's like a race.
it's weird, man. That it's like a thing that feels like it's become core to Forza Horizon because it's been in all of the last games, and there's a part of me that hopes it's not in this one, but I think when I'm thinking back to the stuff from E3, I think it totally is. It was that stuff of like the showcase races where you get to, or I'm racing a train.
We'll touch on that in a moment.
Yeah. It's stuff that was like very cool in the
first game,
and
sure.
then over time, as soon as you see like, oh, this is just a very aggressive. This is just a form of like a time attack, but also it's like very rubber banded.
Yeah.
Because they want to make sure the train is at a cool point when you're on the road where you would see the train, and so it's all fake, and it just.
So it's it's not. We're not quite there yet, but it's not exactly that.
Okay.
I'll say this: there is a spin on it
Great.
this time.
That's all it needs. It just needs to be more. It needs
that you
to,
might
know,
appreciate.
Yeah, I hope so. That's something that. It was such a cool idea when they first rolled it out, and here we are.
It's actually, you'll see, it's kind of silly in a fun way that makes me wish this game was just a little more self-aware,
Sure.
because it's just on the wrong side of ridiculous, where I feel like if it got on the right side of ridiculous, I would really enjoy these games a lot more.
Yeah.
Like they take themselves
It's still
kind of
Forza.
seriously.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is like the fun first Forza, but it is still Forza. I think they have to. Right, I think they're right to have an allegiance to authenticity.
Well, the driving model, absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
The gameplay is what it is and should be.
Right.
But I mean more just this kind of the personality around the races.
Right. I mean, yeah, there's still this big ridiculous festival, unlocking radio stations, and
There's a radio station here that just plays symphonies nonstop,
Yep.
which I found pretty. Yeah. Also, there's a UK hip hop station.
okay. Is there any Goldie-looking chain in this game?
I'm not familiar enough with.
Blazing Squad.
Yeah, probably. I think there's some in this footage.
But I can already see you've got great.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there's
Keep at
probably
it,
no
and I'll
Blazing
see that
Squad.
you're invited to the next round of the series.
So, like I said, we didn't get far enough in the game to know, but like I'm unlocking this Horizon Autumn business here.
Right.
I'm not quite sure how that plays out long term. Like I know in this kind of prologue tutorial type stuff, it's like
I'm Anna.
it's just a way of advancing the season. You know,
Right.
It's like do 6 races or whatever it is and score high enough and then
I'll
go see
help
the
you
next season.
explore the festival and find activities throughout the UK.
It's really.
Oh, Anna.
Anna.
Right, you have Anna.
Okay,
Yep.
Ricky.
I need influence.
Oh yeah, so
Anna. Hey Siri. I need influence.
that stands for something. Automated navigation and something.
You should have presets for our
Who do you want to send it to?
What? That's not at all. Oh.
Horizon Base Arena, Horizon Block Party, and Horizon XS. See what takes
Stupid
your fancy.
phone.
I didn't really dig into that stuff much, but I do like the idea that you could actually, if they build it right, you could just pop that up and be like, hey, I want more whatever, I want more CR, or I want to do this kind of race or whatever, and it
You
just
have to be quiet long enough for my phone to stop looking for.
Okay. It's just gonna keep going, isn't it?
You talked again while it was active!
It's taking forever. She said it like 3 times.
I think it gave up. It took you going, ugh, last time as a valid.
Man. Siri cast a wide net.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Forza.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like at some point, hey, they're making an open world driving game. It's a whole new area.
Yeah.
It's gonna have a lot of the, this looks like it has a lot of the same stuff in terms of you're earning those points and stringing together combos and all that sort of stuff. So I would always just get to a point where I could just get out into a field and spin donuts, and as long as I was occasionally breaking through a fence or knocking some other shit down, you'd really get some long combo strings going.
Yeah, I think that stuff is all pretty much the same.
Yeah, it looks, the presentation looks fairly similar here. I like that. I like the look of this. These stuff, menus and stuff are that's neat.
The stuff moves.
Yeah,
it gets you in and out of races real good. So this might be the part we were talking about, I think.
Yeah, we had a cut there, and yeah.
I think that might be the next race.
Okay, so you're finishing a series. You're also leveling up.
I'm through to the next round of the Horizon Road Racing Series. How could I not with you driving like that? But it doesn't start until autumn. Can you amuse yourself until then?
All right, there's something conceptually strange about this, because think about what these games are. It's you at a festival.
Right.
And now the festival is year-round?
I guess. Well, also, it's not even all festival if this is the thing. I think this is it.
Wow, you really are the image of Frankie Beaumont. Sorry, Joel Carter, Horizon Driver Relations. Now, do I have an opportunity for you?
Yeah,
there's a movie shooting nearby that's in need of a stunt driver. Short notice, I know, but what do you say? Meet me here ASAP, and I'll introduce you to Mike Steele. He's a stunt coordinator for the movie.
So near as I can tell, this is kind of what replaces their race and airplane type stuff.
Huh.
Although conceptually, I mean, like in terms of just what you're doing mechanically, I'm not sure how different it is.
Right, right.
You would know better than me. But this stuff is
Future star of the Silver
almost fun.
Hardly the doppelganger you promised.
You having a laugh? They're like twins.
That's funny.
Right. The finger guns and everything.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
a getaway.
It's almost there.
Head over to Broadway Village. We got everything set up there. The kid better be as good as you say. Right.
Maybe they get deeper into it, but I almost wish they leaned more into this stunt driver stuff. Like,
Well, I wondered, did you see a second chapter in your time playing it? Because that said the stunt driver chapter 1.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this ends up being like a whole side thing of just like multiple stunt driver things, or if chapter 2 is a different
I played
scenario.
one more later that we couldn't record, and it was not.
You made it.
It was not a stunt driver?
Well, it was the same setting, you know, doing film stuff.
Oh, okay. All right, all right.
What I mean though is it like kind of tends to be like one stunt maneuver per race.
Okay.
Like this
Oh.
one.
Deep end. But at least you look the part now.
It'll be just like kind of drive a route and then make one jump at the end. Like I'm
Okay.
thinking more kind of like Stuntman, where it's a whole series
Right,
of challenges you have to
yeah.
hit.
That would be pretty different.
But maybe it builds up to that over time. I don't know.
Hey, remember to breathe, kid. Just don't let it get away from you. I'll talk you through it. You'll be fine.
You seem like at least the same radio station names as previous games. Oh, that's all right. Okay, jet.
Yeah, the baddie's in a jet plane. So what? You just keep that needle in the red. Maybe do some evasive maneuvers.
That was evasive.
Yeah, I was.
For that sign.
Oh yeah.
Sign evaded me quite well.
I don't know. It feels like you knocked it the F down.
You and your hero is safe. For now. Good. This is all good stuff. Don't relax, kid. We're not done. Keep it loose and fast up the hill, then back down. Still got the jump to do.
Whoop.
Yeah.
Take a penalty for rewinding?
On higher difficulties, you can... Usually in these games, as you adjust the difficulty, if you turn the rewinds off, you'll get a higher credit bonus at the end of every event and stuff like that.
That seems like the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I've liked the way that they've handled their difficulty stuff in Forza games for some time.
Balance up, not down.
Yeah.
Give you a bonus instead of a penalty.
Right.
All right, I need a gut check on this, because I feel like the game kind of screwed me over here.
Floor it. Pray. Hey, eyes forward. Ignore the camera. Try to look heroic.
Yeah, you gotta land them.
But how?
You have to land on your wheels. You have to stay on your wheels.
I was.
No,
And then they checkpoint me right here.
Yeah, that's dumb.
They checkpoint me right here where you don't have enough room
you're
to
never
get
gonna
the speed. But how, I mean, do you have air control to move the car?
No, it's you just have to have a cleaner launch. Kind of just go straight on.
The terrain is so uneven past that jump.
You don't always know what the terrain's going to look like on the other end, but yeah.
All right.
You have to.
On my second try, I got this. I mean, you're
eyes forward. Ignore the camera.
Basically landing on a hill here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
I was pretty happy with that one.
Yeah. Perfect.
It's a wrap, everyone. Congratulations, kid. You survived. Reckon you can do that again? I'll give you a number to cast.
So yeah, it's stuff like that. I didn't see any of the traditional, race a fire truck type stuff.
Yeah, I wonder if this will eventually get into that.
I think this is kind of what takes the place of that.
Or maybe different opportunities open up along the way, I guess. Yeah. This is part of the story, quote unquote. Cool. Okay, so stunt driver is a thing you level up just like the road series and stuff.
There's a lot of
and there was a wheel spin there, so it's still got the wheel in it.
Spotted a new movie. Make sure you save time to take part in the autumn season when you're rich and famous.
You've caught the eye of Alex, one of our Horizon superstars. He's looking for new racers to take part in the dirt racing series.
All right. So it looks like you kind of will finish each series or level up in each series.
Our friend over there will get you set up with some new tires. Come and see me after the race if you need anything else. Ah, it's you. I heard about the stunts you pulled for Joel. You know how to drive, don't you? Sorry, I'm Alex. I run dirt racing for the festival. Speaking of which, you'll need a car that can handle the dirt.
They're all just so earnest.
Yeah.
Also, what's up with the gigantic base cannons on the front?
Hey, sometimes you race at night. You need brighter lights.
The Subaru. That flat 4 boxer engine is an absolute beast, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I feel like these characters are so close to becoming caricatures.
Sure.
They just pushed it a little bit farther.
Did you get a sense? So you were playing in 1080, and so you played the 60 FPS mode here.
Yeah.
Did you get a sense if that would be something you could toggle on, even if you were using a 4K TV? Like, hey, drop me down to 1080. And
It is an option in the game.
Okay.
Not just at the console level.
Got it.
I believe you. From what I could tell, I think you could just turn that on.
Okay, and it would still
when you fire up the game. I mean, we had a whole capture setup to deal with, so I also had to go do it in the system menu.
Oh, right.
I'm not sure how much of that was because of the capture and how much is.
Yeah, I just know some games on some of the upgraded consoles, it'll be like, oh, if you're not already outputting 1080, it won't even present you the option.
So that's the thing. They had me change it in the system first because of the
capture stuff.
The Atomos Ninja Inferno we were going into.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I changed it in the system first, so I don't know if that's what made the toggle show up in the game or not.
Right, yeah, so I guess we just don't know. Okay. Yeah, because I might opt for frame rate even on a 4K TV.
Yeah.
If it's going to be reduced resolution,
like
I would probably live with that.
I can't imagine a world where you ever don't want the frame rate in a racing game.
Yeah, I mean, Forza Horizon 3 was really solid on PC, and you know, you got that frame rate there, and that was pretty powerful. So it's hard to.
Or so, I mean, who knows? I mean, you might be able to get something in the neighborhood of 4K in this game on a PC.
In the bag.
Yeah, that's true.
Dirty. Brilliant.
1440p.
Yeah.
Or something.
You could go far in my
Sure.
racing series.
165 frames per second, maybe. Probably not. I would like to get that.
Looks like you've nearly qualified for the autumn season. And remember, the more driving you do, the more you'll build your influence.
Hey, rookie. Fancy winning a prize?
All right. So this is the stuff, you know, the wheel spin, it's fine. It's just the upsell opportunities they've placed around a lot of the stuff where it's like, oh, you get double cash rewards because you're a VIP member, and then here's an opportunity to buy this stuff and this stuff. Like, it's the stuff that they kind of, I feel like, boned up in the last couple of motorsport games.
In 200 yards, turn left.
Yeah, which one was the really egregious offender? Was it?
Turn left.
7 was the one that came out last year,
Yeah, I'm
but
trying to remember
6 was also.
which one was the one
6
that-
was the one that was like pretty.
There was one that they launched with a bunch of features and then pulled those features almost immediately.
I think that was 7. I think that was both of them. Honestly, like I want to say that they had to do stuff in both games, but it's been a while.
Like remade the kind of progression economy almost instantly after outcry.
You have arrived at your
Yep.
destination.
Every day I'm thankful that I'm breathing, eating good. Can't wait till the day that I can get back to the hood. Take a trip back when I could. Don't get me misunderstood. I had to.
I'm gonna get those lights from my car.
You ready?
I barely ever drive at night, but
Let's do this.
Might as well be sure.
yeah.
I don't know if this is a good car for street racing. You tell me.
Oh, it's you.
The Subaru.
I didn't think to change the car
Yeah,
after that
not
kind of
especially.
rally
Up about you, you know.
last time.
I mean, you wouldn't want those heavy ass lights on the front of
These
it.
guys will love you. Oh, before we start, you've got to know this isn't strictly sanctioned by the festival, so don't mention this to Kira.
Oh
all right?
no.
I gotta go. Work to do.
That's why these guys only operate at
See
night.
you around though, yeah? These might not be official, but you keep coming to these meets. I'll make sure everyone at Horizon knows your name.
Also, I filled your trunk with ketamine.
Looking forward to seeing what
I'm sorry,
you
the
can do
boot.
out there.
I filled the boot with ketamine.
You got the fireman coming, bringing the heat with the CD. When they see me, wanna be me, better be me, better be free in a big league, not Pee Wee, and they got chicks like CC's. I'm never gonna fly. Get back down for that.
All right, so that car next to you has the VIP crown on it. So
Oh, did it?
that tells us. Well, of course they would have it. I mean, you know, they've had it for years. Like, why wouldn't they? But they may have even talked about some of that stuff. I haven't necessarily been following all their announcements. I am ready for a new Forza Horizon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the persistent online stuff, the kind of changing living world aspect of it has my interest for sure.
Yeah.
So, street racers have all these unspoken rules
The
about
movie
respect,
Stuntman stuff
honor,
is
who can and can't join, but
good
all
and dumb.
you need to know is drive like that and you're welcome.
And I kind of just like the vibe of the game. Like I like the
Yeah,
I just
the
like this kind of
environment.
peaceful, like English countryside sort of feel to everything.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking
different.
environment, and it seems like they've got. I'm just looking at the map. It seems like you've got a variety of settings where you've got like kind of more city-looking type stuff.
They had, I believe, the gentleman I think was the director on the game. There, definitely one of the high up creatives.
Restarting soon if you find
He was busy doing interviews the whole time, and I had to take off. But the one question I wanted to ask him was what the pitch process is like for picking the next environment in one of these games.
Right.
Like, where does that start? Like, who on the team is able to, empowered to make decisions? Like, how do they arrive at what they've arrived at?
Right, and yeah, like what are the like? At some point you go like, oh well, you could kind of turn any part of the world into this by just saying like, oh, there's a city and there's some countryside, and then, you could kind of say that. It's just a matter of.
Turn left.
There you go. Turn left.
I got these,
Calculating route.
These were boarded up to mark potential hazards.
danger sign collectibles.
Yep. Yeah, that's stuff they've. Yes, they're making another Forza Horizon video game, and cool.
But I mean, they've done, what was it? Colorado was the first one, right? And then kind of continental Europe, and then Australia, and now this.
Yeah.
I think is right.
Yeah. There's the rumors, which was, sometimes just wishful thinking about Japan.
That rumor is exactly why I wanted to ask that question, because I feel like Japan would have been the biggest departure for the series, probably.
Yeah, well, you would have had a much more dense city. Like to do it justice, you probably have like a very dense urban environment, and then still have some outskirts that you could have, because
and freeways and stuff.
Right.
Well, it depends on where in Japan, obviously.
Sure,
but,
sure.
If you want the iconic locations, you're gonna get.
Yeah, because you need to have a mountain that you can do drift racing down and stuff, because that's
so
the style of driving you would want to represent, which it is not quite what these games have done. That would have been more of a departure that would have been fun. But,
totally. That's why I wanted to ask him that, was basically to follow up and see if there's potential for this series to get a little bit, I don't know if weirder is the right word. A little bit more afield of the stuff that they've kind of been leaning on.
Right, like all these environments do, like, there's something kind of common about them, or in common between all of the
obviously
all four of the games.
Australia and England not exactly the same, but
but from what they're showing you and what the types of terrain that you have available, open road, city, that sort of stuff. It's kind of not entirely dissimilar.
Yeah, a lot of similarities for sure.
So it looked like you were heading somewhere to unlock a perk. Is that what that was?
It's a house.
Oh.
So I qualified for autumn, and that's where they made us stop capturing. But kind of the last, just shitting up the joint as soon as I get here. But kind of the last thing they let us capture was this thing here.
You're not gonna believe this.
Drone mode.
Producers bought this house to use as a set.
I would assume that's where the photography mode unlocks and stuff.
I had a word, and you know what? They said you could have the house for free as a thank you for your work on the movie.
Well, okay then.
Here, have a house. Like, I don't know, maybe pay me money instead and I'll buy my own house?
Well, since this
No?
was on the
Okay.
I'll take a house. You got a house? I'll take it.
This is where your threads are stored. Your wardrobe is like a map of your career. So the more you get yourself out there, the more clothes you'll get in return.
Just like in real life.
Big name needs a big style.
Your wardrobe is a map of your career. Congratulations, you've qualified for the black polo shirt. Your shift at the auto zone is on Tuesday.
Check it out, a different graphic tee.
It's a cool jacket. I wish I had that jacket.
That's not a bad jacket.
It's a good jacket. Yeah, okay, yeah. Character customization, why not? If they're going to show you more cutscenes, which, I think that's a smart.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to try to
addition.
monetize any of this stuff, but.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm sure there'll be like VIP, like, hey, you bought the good edition, here's a better t-shirt. Like, that's got to be in there, right? But the characters look pretty good for a driving game.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Forza-thon shop. So I wonder if that's like a, hey, complete X number of challenges in Forza-thon, and then you can access additional options.
You any good at dancing? You
No.
can bust a move to show off before a race, and bust an even bigger move for when you win.
I love busting moves,
It'll be
Joel.
great.
I like to showboat.
Yeah, man, I'm into it. This is, this looks pretty much like what I expected, but
Yeah,
you know, what they've said about the weather and what they've said about the more connected, like real live universe stuff, those are things that I felt like the game is needed.
Yeah,
so.
it's kind of ironic. I mean, they said this was basically a finished build. Obviously, they're still fixing bugs and stuff.
Well, they said they went gold.
Along
with the demo, they said they went gold. So.
Yeah, this was a couple weeks ago, but yeah, like ironically, all the things about this that seem to make it unique in the Forza Horizon series are the things that they were not really showing at this event.
Yeah,
all the seasons and weather and online stuff.
Yeah,
but that stuff sounds interesting enough that I totally want to check this out.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, I've been like, you know, those past couple Forza games have been really solid on PC. It took them some patches to get there, but they've been.
Here's what I see.
Some nice looking PC games.
Yeah.
So with some more experience doing that under their belt, hopefully this game will launch a little more smoothly on PC and run real nice and all that stuff. I think the demo might be out on PC also.
Yes.
Maybe I'll grab that and just check it out.
They put a demo of this out today, actually.
That would have been nice to know.
Yeah. If we had known that demo was coming. Whatever. Yeah. You know, I got to ask a couple questions.
Yeah, that's cool.
Playground employees that were helpful.
Yeah, I guess I guess it looks pretty much how I'd expected it.
Yeah,
but
Let me show you.
but that's cool.
Yeah,
I'll play this game.
Yeah, I'm excited about that online stuff. It's out in like 3 weeks. I think.
Man, that's soon.
Games are coming out.
Yeah,
Video games are happening.
Yeah, jeez. Okay.
It's fall in like a week.
Video games, they're on.
Yep. Thanks, Madden.